Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Healthy Living event sponsored by the Juice Plus community. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Carol Turnbow. I'm a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company. I'm also a wife, a mom, a mama. I'm a CrossFit coach. I'm a CrossFit athlete, but my passion is nutrition. My passion is teaching people that food really can heal the body. Tonight, you're going to be hearing from myself and some of my teammates. We've all joined on a mission to inspire healthy living around the world. And I'm going to start tonight by introducing our product line. Our product line is simple and it will remain simple because Juice Plus has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule form. And so tonight I'm going to start by showing you our fruit, our vegetable, and our berry blend. These three blends are 100% plant-based all the way down to the capsule. They're better than organic. They're non-GMO. They've been picked at the peak of ripeness and they carry an NSF seal of approval. And what that means is that what is in the product is on the label. For instance, this is our vegetable blend. And on this label, it shows broccoli, parsley, tomato, carrot, garlic, beet, spinach, cabbage, lemon peel, rice bran, and kale. My favorite part of our label is that it carries a nutrition label. Nutrition labels are reserved for food. And like I said earlier, Juice Plus has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It's food in capsule form. We also have our full spectrum of plant-based omegas. This is the orange bottle. Our omega blend is 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Like I said, it's plant-based and it is all the way down to the capsule. Juice Plus has cut out the middleman. We all know that we can get our omega-3s from fish oil. Well, fish eat algae to get their omegas from. So we've cut out the fish. We go straight to the algae. And our omega blend is made out of algae oil, pomegranate seed oil, tomato seed oil, and more. We also have our complete protein powder in chocolate and vanilla. This is another vegan product. Every morning, I love to swallow my capsules by drinking a complete shake. We just recently came out with a new product called Perform, and I use that when I work out. So I drink my complete shakes usually in the morning, and I'll have my Perform shake sometime in the afternoon when I'm at the gym, and I love it. It's made such a huge difference in my workout, but there's more grams of protein per serving in that product. And last but not least, we have an aeroponic growing system. It's called a tower garden. Our tower garden feeds itself. It's got a water basin at the bottom. The water comes up through the middle and waters the plants. There's lights, that LED lights that hook onto it. Mine's in my hallway and I'm in Indiana. It's still chilly. And I've been eating fresh vegetables and herbs all winter long. It's amazing. I planted in October. I'm still harvesting. I can't wait to get it outside, but for now it's inside and it's still feeding me, which is what's important. So we have an amazing lineup of speakers tonight. Jennifer Smith has brought some of her teammates and they're going to share their Juice Plus journeys, their stories about the product and the business. Jennifer, welcome your team. Go ahead and unmute and we'll start by having you share your story.
Okay, thank you very much, Carol, and welcome everybody. My name is Jennifer Smith and I've been with the Juice Plus company since 2014. And I am here with my lovely team and I want to thank them for getting on and sharing their story. And I have been a registered nurse for about 27 years. I heard about Juice Plus when my daughter was 4 and she's 14, so about 10 years ago. And I was at another nurse's house and she was giving her the gummies and I said, "Is that a vitamin?" And she said, "No, it's just an extra serving of fruit and vegetables." I'm like, "That's genius." So I said, "Where can I get it?" She's like, "I don't know, go to juiceplus.com. So I did. And I ordered it. I didn't do my homework on it. I'm trained as a nurse, so more Western medicine. And I didn't give it to my kids every day. I treat it like a vitamin, but I will tell you, the girl that called me, I just really liked her and we got to talking. And that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't cancel, because she just gave me such great customer care. So fast forward, as she educated me and kind of filled me in on more of like, this is just, why aren't you giving it to your kids every day? That kind of thing. I learned more and more, and I learned that it was also in capsules. So I ordered it, got on the Children's Health Study, and I said to her, "Is this like a pharmaceutical sales job?" And she said, "No, have you ever thought of having a home-based business?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." So that's one thing I always tell people. Let people know what we do just in case they're like me. and would like to have something that gives you a lot of purpose and maybe some extra income. So fast forward, I started taking it. I have so many stories to tell you, but my own personal, I had cystic acne when I was in the early 40s. I had strep throat like once and twice a month, several times a year. My skin has never felt better. I just turned 50. I have not had strep throat, and I could go on, like I said, with more stories. My kids, they've always been, fairly healthy, but I have noticed more with them too, just less colds, less flus, fevers, just stuff like that. And I obviously have the tower garden. I love growing the tower. We are on all the products. And tonight, later, you'll get to hear from my husband. So he'll talk more about the shakes and stuff. So yeah, so I'm going to pass it on next to my team member, Kimberly Davis. She is a retired mom and grandma, and she loves doing this Juice Plus business. It definitely makes retirement more fun for her. So Kim?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kim Davis. Like Jennifer says, I am retired. About 6.5 years ago, I was looking for something for my dad. He had arthritis really bad. We live on the farm, and he couldn't go out and do his chores. He couldn't get in the tractors to do his combining and all the stuff that farmers do. So I bought him dark cherry pills, and that didn't do no good. And I bought him that chondroitin, and that didn't do him no good. And then I told him he had to start drinking vinegar, and he was really a really good student, I guess you could say. He was ready for it. And then somebody told me, well, have you heard of Juice Plus? I said, well, where do you get that stuff? Well, you got to call this lady down in Dublin, and she'll get it for you. So I got the number, and I call it, and lo and behold, it was Jennifer Smith, my sponsor. And I said, I kind of explained what was going on with my dad, and she says, we don't make medical claims, but she says, I really feel that it will help your dad. I said, well, give me some of that stuff. So I ordered the 4-month supply, and his 4-month supply was up like right around Christmas time almost. And he took me out in the kitchen. He said, hey, he said, I'm about out of them pills you got me. I said, well, what do you think, Dad? He said, well, I think they're starting to help. And I'm like, oh, awesome, So I called this lady back up, and I said, would you do me a favor? And she said, what? I said, would you come to my house like a Tupperware party and talk about this stuff? She said, what? And I said, I got a bunch of friends. They've all got a lot of health issues. Would you come like do a generic Tupperware party and do it about this Juice Plus stuff? She said, oh my God, I would love to. And I said, you don't even know me. She said, that's okay. What's your address? So we set it up. So I invited 7 of my friends, and each one had different health issues. A lot of them were older than I am. 6 out of the 7 bought it. And she says, you need to be a rep. And I'm like, well, I can't do this stuff. I don't even have internet. I have a flip phone, I can't do any of this stuff. She said, it's only $52. I said, they bought this stuff from you. She said, no, they bought it from you because they trusted you. Jennifer was just the messenger. I said, well, I've wasted $52 before. So fast forward, that's been 6.5 years ago. My dad just turned 89 in February. I caught him out in my woods, cutting wood by himself. He was in the combine this fall, combining beans and picking corn. He goes out in his shop every morning. He starts a fire out there. He goes out and does his chores every morning. And his psoriasis went away. His arthritis has gotten more manageable, where he can go out and enjoy life. Is he never going to be 60 again? No, but him and Mom are both on it, and they're both very healthy. They take, just a tiny bit of medication, and I don't know where I would be without this business. Now that I'm retired, I miss the community of being around people. And I still get that with the Juice Plus business. I can go have coffee with this person. We have, conferences are a little different now, and it's helped financially with being retired, because, it's hard to go to that one paycheck a month and being on a fixed income, where this affords me going out to eat and buying extra things. And I will never be without the business or the product. My cholesterol has went down. My bone density has went up. And them are all things that as you get older, you have to worry about. So I am forever grateful for this lady down in Dublin that got this stuff from my dad, and and life has been good since then. So that's my story. And I have, like she says, I have lots and lots of them, eye ones, just everything, more energy, less constipation. I mean, it's just endless. So now I get to introduce that kind of half guy right beside her. And there he is. That's Sean. So he's an awesome guy. And you got it, Sean. Go.
Well, thanks, Kim. I love hearing your story. Wish we could hear your personal story and your own personal health. Maybe someday you'll be able to share that as well. You have a lot of good stories. Hi, my name's Sean Smith. I'm Jennifer's husband. She kind of told you how we just kind of got introduced to Juice Plus. She bought it. It was sitting on the table. I saw it, didn't think much of it. I always have eaten pretty well. Always mixed stuff in a blender or whatever and drank it. That's usually how I got my fruits and vegetables in. And not really till I really pay attention to it until my brother got diagnosed with cancer. And we were talking, and we were wanting him to start eating better and stuff. So we just decided, have him try Juice Plus, and what it was doing for him was just absolutely amazing. It was long gone before we actually got him on to Juice Plus, so there was really no way of saving him. But it definitely, for that year that he fought cancer, he swore he had more energy, never lost his hair. His chemos were, a lot more tolerable and stuff. And he always said if he was going to survive, he would tell everybody about Juice Plus. So I was just like, well, why aren't we taking it? I mean, I could see directly what it's doing for, my brother and other. I'm like, so we just, just started to take the Juice Plus and stuff. And it was really very interesting how I would start feeling. I thought I was eating healthy. So I was taking it, I do concrete for a living, and I'm a personal trainer, teach yoga as well, but I've done concrete for 27 years. So it's very physical, very demanding job. And so I need all that vital, nutrition in my body just to try to make it through a day. And so we got going. And so she started taking that, and then she started telling me about the plant-based protein. I'm like, no, I'll take the capsules, I'll take the fruit and vegetable, but I'm going to stick with my whey protein. I've taken it for 30 years. I like it, it works for me. And she's like, just try it. I'm like, so I said, all right, I'll buy another tub of my whey protein, but I'll also try your Juice Plus. I'll go 50-50, for a while until this tub's empty. And so I did that, and I even just taken like 50% of the time, the Juice Plus, the protein and whey protein, I could start feeling the difference already. I felt like more lean. I didn't feel as puffy and bloated. So I'm like, wow, maybe there is something to this. So once I got done with the tub, I just strictly stayed with the plant-based Juice Plus protein, and it's been a life changer. It really has. I said I had both shoulders. I had rotator cuff surgery March of 20 on the right, December of 20 on the left, and my recovery was, they were just amazed. They were to the point where they needed, if I was a little bit older, they would have did replacements on them, but they were able to fix them with grafts and everything. But they were amazed at my recovery and everything. And I mean, I directly related to, the help of Juice Plus definitely helps just with that, getting that nutrition in and everything. And the protein is a life changer. It really is. People ask me all the time, I'm like, no, I'm pretty much a vegan, and they're like, there's no way, I'm like, yeah, you don't need all that meat and animal products to be big and strong. I mean, you don't. It's you hear everything in the magazine and everything, all these bodybuilders, it's all whey protein, which unfortunately it's not true. And we need more people to get out there, tell them that plant-based protein is the way to go. It definitely is better for you for inflammation and strength. I've never lost an ounce of strength or anything of that. So she was right about the plant-based. I was pretty reluctant, but I'm glad I listened to her. So now I'm going to turn it over to Darlene, a dear friend, a dietitian, and a woman who's doing some incredible things in this business.
Thank you, Sean. Can you hear me? I think I'm unmuted here. Yeah, that was great. my whole introduction to Juice Plus really is so different because I first learned about it when I was working in a clinic and I had a young family come through and I was doing a nutrition assessment, and they just they were very healthy kids, and the mom was sharing with me about the Juice Plus product. So, I listened and I was interested, but it was like a lot of other stories I'd heard too. But the next day she actually brought me in some information and some samples, and I looked at it and I was impressed. I thought that the research was definitely outstanding, but I just didn't do anything with it. And that had to have been shortly after the product was introduced. I think it was maybe in 2002, somewhere in there, maybe a little bit earlier. But I just remember it was just the fruit and vegetable. But anyway, I just was kind of passed it by. And then it was 4 years ago when my husband's health was kind of taking a downturn that it came back to me again. And I think it was kind of providential at that point because I just told my sponsor, I said, listen, just get it for me. And I don't care, just get me the best deal, which of course means you sign up and become a rep. And, that was the whole point. I just wanted to get my husband on it. And I was really kind of desperate. So as it went on, he was on it, I think almost the total time of the first shipment, which would be about 4 months, of course. And he actually ended up having shingles, but it was a very, very mild case. And it was so mild that it really passed. I just went by me. I didn't, connect it. And the interesting thing was it was, he never blistered. He didn't have some of the typical problems that people with shingles do. And it was very short in duration. He's never had any pain since then or any after effects. So I know it was the Juice Plus. And at that point, I just said, okay, let's do this. Now, I still wasn't in. I was still kind of reserved about it, but I ordered another shipment. And things just started to get better with him. He's a little bit like a typical guy, wasn't eating well, not a lot of fruits and vegetables. So I saw this as a way to, improve his diet. And he was definitely agreeable to it. So things just kind of went along. And pretty soon we started on the shakes, or he started. And I thought, well, that was working well. I have to say, I kind of used him as my guinea pig. So then it was after that, I think we were at the end of the second shipment, I decided to get on it too. And I started using it. And it's been a real blessing in our life because as a dietitian, it started to open doors for me. And I was getting ready to retire and really didn't have any plan on doing this as a business, but it started to happen. And so I just kind of went along with it. And, I have to really give Jennifer a lot of credit because she kind of kept coming back and coaching me. And that helped because I really wasn't planning on it at all. And then I remember going to the Chicago Summit in 2019, and I saw Stephen Ritz. And that really lit a fire in me because it introduced me to the other side of the company, which was Tower Gardens. And I just saw that as a way to really connect in some areas that I had worked in before with kids. And so I just really, at that point, started getting my feet into this. And it's taken off for me. I have just had nothing but good things to say about the company, the product, the whole experience. And I would just have to say, if there's anybody out there that has anybody or any doubts about this, just do it, get on the product, become a product of the product. And I think you're going to be very pleased and very blessed by it because it's just everything that everybody has said so far. Plus, it just gets better all the time. So I think that's pretty much the best thing I can say. And I'll just move on to Elaine at this point, and that's it. Is she there?
I do not see.
I
Elaine.
think I'm here.
Oh,
Is she there?
I-
There she is.
It
Okay.
just takes me a while. This technology gets me. All right. So I'm Elaine Geiger. I have been with Juice Plus at least 3 to 4 years. Thanks to Kim being persistent. She has been a phenomenal person in my life. She is, just to introduce this alone, I have a natural health business, and she came for a massage one day and she decided to talk to me about Juice Plus and tell me all about it and tell me that it would be really a good thing to introduce to my business. And I thought, uh-oh, here we go. But no, it did work out. I contemplated, did a lot of research. Actually, I put it off for quite some time. I'm making it sound like I really cooperated. But she really just followed up with me. I did the research eventually and decided I'm going to jump on board. This sounds really good for my patients. And so we did. I signed up and got going on it, just us, just me and my husband. And then I ended up putting my children on it, my adult children. And it, my youngest one, who used to sleep all the time, he was 20, I think he was 20 at the time, maybe 19. And all of a sudden he's like got all this up and go, and he's not taking naps and sleeping all the time. You're not waking him up all the time. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I got my parents on it. Dad's aches and pains went away. All of a sudden he was doing much better. um Ended up introducing it to many of my patients. And one lady, she said, I'm sorry, I can't afford coming to you and having Juice Plus, but my A1C dropped so far. She goes, I can't drop Juice Plus. And I said, that's fine. You go with the Juice Plus. If that's working for you and it's correcting your health issues, you go for it. And then the Tower Gardens. Wow. The Tower Gardens are amazing. I had purchased the 3 of them. It was a little too much for me right off the bat because I'm one of those that jumps in with both feet and usually drowns, but that's okay. I come to float every after a while. And got a lot of my good greens. My lettuce, my tomatoes are phenomenal. The celery is my favorite. Broccoli heads, really big broccoli heads. It's just been really fun to watch things grow. The cucumbers are so flavorful. Everything's got more flavor, more nutrition. You can just taste it. And then you've got the protein, like Sean was talking about. Oh, you talk about skeptic. You say soy protein, and I run for the hills. And Kim's like, no, 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 just research it. Do your research, just like you did with the other parts. Just do it. And so one day I broke down and I started doing research on the soy protein and found out that not only is it just a simply non-GMO whole soybean protein compared to the soybean protein isolate, which is the smallest particle of the soybean that contains all the estrogens. So all these other shakes out there, or almost all of them, contain mountains of estrogen, and instead of just the whole soybean with all the fibers and the good stuff, the omegas. So, all right, so yeah, I was wrong again. She sold me on that, and now that's something I use pretty much every day. So yeah, so I think there's no way I'm ever going to go away from this, I can tell you that. And being in business for myself, there was no way I could manage it any longer doing the Juice Plus. I looked at Kim and I said, there's just no way I can't do this. And I said, it's just, I couldn't take on anything else. I was taking care of my dad, who had fallen and fractured his skull, and I was helping with tons of other things. And I have a farm, a little farm of ours. And anyway, so they mentioned a wellness coordinator. Well, guess who got nominated? And actually, she stepped up to the plate. It was Kim, and she does a phenomenal job. All I have to do is give people her number or give her the people's number, and she calls them, does all the work, and my business grows. And so does hers. So it's been a really, really good combination. I couldn't have asked for anybody better. So I think that's all I need to have to say. So it was nice being on here with everybody. I hope you learned something, and I couldn't not encourage anyone to come onto this because it's improved everyone I know. It's improved their health in some way, shape, or form. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, you guys, those were awesome stories. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, everyone who came and shared stories tonight. We are here every Thursday night sharing stories. We invite all of you to stay on the line. We have an awesome business training event followed by this call. And I'm on the protein. I'm with Sean. I'm with Elaine. I was the same way. There was no way I was taking that protein. And now there's no way I go a day without it. So the protein is the bomb. So good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Hang on. I'm going to stop this event.